In Kashmir, we are talking about development. When I used to come here some years ago, what you were dealing with is entire professional cadre of stone pelters. Now, what Kiren Rijiju is saying, and I totally agree with what he's saying, but there are things he said initially, which is that why was the issue taken, first of all, to the international or multilateral forum? See, my information all along has been that the then Maharaja was happy to sign the instrument of accession. Okay, Maharaja Hari Singh. That's my information. That's what I've read as a student of history. But somehow the political leadership in Delhi were saying, I read a quote today, which has come in one article. I read it hurriedly early in the morning, saying that they wanted it to be more broad-based, and therefore they wanted a plebiscite, or they wanted to take it to a multilateral forum. I think you can't have a higher degree of folly than that. Folly, I use the word mildly. This is your problem. Dekhiye, ye terror from outside and the stability and situation inside, there is a coefficient, there is an umbilical relationship. आप destabilize करते हैं, कौन करते हैं, किसके कहने पे करते हैं, उसके साथ state suffers. And then you say, भाई बड़ी हमारे यहाँ problem है, इसलिए ये हो रहा है. तो I think Kiren, I'm sorry I've given you a very comprehensive answer. Kiren ने जो बोला बिल्कुल सही बोला है. और मैं मानता हूं कि इस चीज पर जब लोगों को जानकारी मिलेगी, और वही लोग, देखिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस समय, मैं पॉलिटिकल बात कर रहा हूं, वी आर नॉट ओनली द वर्ल्ड्स इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट पार्टी, वी आर ऑल्सो द वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट पॉलिटिकल पार्टी. हमारे यहाँ आपने परिवारवाद की कभी बात सुनी है? कोई होगा हमें बड़ी मशीन में वन मैन सेज के मेरे बेटी को टिकट दे दो या वो कर दो. बट वी आर, भाई इट वॉज 2002 हार्ट टॉक, जनवरी फरवरी, डजंट मैटर, 2001 या 2020 साल पहले. मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि we are a professional democracy pursuing clinically through development. 1947 में गलती हुई, उससे पहले गलती हुई, appeasement की policy चली. Since you asked me a question, I'm very happy to staring you in the face that making that reference and calling for a plebiscite, etc. was I don't think it's a folly. I think it's a monumental blunder. So I agree with my dear friend and colleague Kiren Rijiju entirely. But I also tell you something. Because you made that mistake, other people took advantage of it. How did they take advantage? One country has been using terror as an instrument of state policy. I gave an interview 20 years ago. We are in 2022. मैं बात कर रहा हूँ 2002 की है ना वो हार्ट टॉक, 2002 na? 2001, even more than 22 years ago. 23 years ago, 21 years ago, sorry. Now, this was an interview on BBC Hard Talk, you can still see it. And in 2001, I had said, this is a problem created from across the border. But they could create that problem because we or somebody on our side had allowed them to do it. That is the real story. In all this discussion on terrorism, people are not able to understand that the terrorist takes away the most important right of all. That is the right to life. Because democracy is based on resolution of differences. But if somebody is using a gun in order to enforce his point of view, he's taken up human rights ki baat karte hain. But the most fundamental right is the right to life. And the terror instrument takes that away. Development in the state of J&K because of the government's far-sighted decision to remove that millstone around the state's neck.